Hi, welcome to Mamas and Mannies. I'm your host, Trina. This is a short form podcast for mamas that are looking for a quick burst of me time. But before we get started, go ahead and hit the like button and share this with another mama. I was trying to think what else. Hit the like button, share. Oh, and like I asked last week, make sure you leave good feedback so we will know how to better serve you. But before we jump into our mama time, let's go ahead and go over a motivational quote. This week's quote says, I grow and learn every day, adapting to new circumstances. This is a good one. I grow and learn every day, adapting to new circumstances. So I think this is a great quote because being a mom, sometimes there is always something new. Each child is different. If you have more than one child, you know that. If you have a boy and a girl, you know, they're different. Even if you have two kids that are the same, like I have two girls, they're both different. One, may handle certain things better than the other one. And you just have to adapt to that. You really do. You have to know, okay, this daughter, you can say certain things or you can do certain things, while the other daughter, like for example, my youngest daughter, even if I just do a little tap to her on her little bottom, she cries like I had a whole belt out beating her. So that's funny because it doesn't take much to get her to cry. And also it doesn't take much for her, to correct herself. Now, my oldest daughter, I think I remember one time when she was younger, I popped her and she was like, that doesn't even hurt. So, at that point I had to kind of come from another angle because I was like, okay, this isn't even working. So that's when we went to going in the corner. When she goes in the corner, she has to like do her numbers, skip count, stuff like that, ABCs. I think I was trying to get her to count backwards from 100, just things like that to challenge her in the corner. That way it's a little bit different. So it just depends on what you have. But guess what? Every day you have to adapt to new changes and new circumstances. And I think this quote is definitely timely because 2025 has brought some changes on the federal level with a new president, and depending on where you work at, you may have new leadership at your job as well. So just remember to grow and learn every day, adapting to new circumstances. But guess what time it is? It's mama time. This week's mama time is going to be just a weekly update, and it's going to span over the last few weeks because I missed a week of recording. So we had a throwback episode about winter skincare, which is still a great episode. So if you did not check out our throwback episode we did, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, definitely check that one out. I had on my cozy pajamas and I did skincare for the winter, which I still think is important. And I still think that everyone should check that out. So I would love for you to check that out to make sure you don't have ashy, cracked, dry skin, if you know what I mean. But the last few weeks have just been a lot here in Metro Atlanta. So it started off the week before MLK. And we had a snow day, I think on Friday. The weather predicted that it was not going to snow until like 9 o'clock, I think. But on my way to work, I usually leave at about 5:45, 6 o'clock. It was raining, but you could tell it was kind of like almost rain mixed with hail because it was a little bit louder. But by the time I got to work, by 7:15, it was snowing. So if you live in the Metro Atlanta area or you live in an area where you're not used to getting snow or you just don't get snow every year, by that time, thankfully, the first time it snowed, the city of Atlanta and surrounding cities really pushed the thing of staying off the road. They make sure the schools were closed, city establishments were closed. A lot of restaurants were closed. Because first, if everybody's at home, nobody's going out. Second, if no one can get to your establishment, there's no reason to even be open because you may not have enough workers. So I had to end up staying at work, which actually ended up not being too bad. They provide a free meal at each time, so like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So it ended up not being that bad, and I had to stay in I had to stay overnight, which wasn't bad either. It sounds worse than it really was. I came prepared. So I had, pajamas, toiletry, an extra change of scrubs. I bought an air mattress and my own like blanket and pillow to make sure I was comfortable. And like I said, I left early. I also brought enough food for the entire weekend because I didn't know if they would do free food or not. Because I feel like, I don't know what happened, but I didn't know if they were going to provide free food. So I was prepared, which was great. Like I said, Friday got to work with no issues, stayed overnight into Saturday. Everything was fine, was able to go home Sunday and to relax at home, take a shower at home. That's when you really appreciate the benefit of being at home. And then, came to work on Sunday as usual. Then the next week, which was really unexpected, this was the week after MLK. So Monday, we went to visit my parents in my hometown of Augusta. So that really took away my Monday reset or my Monday cleanup that I do. So I wasn't able to wash any clothes or clean the house like I usually like to. But what happened, at first they were like, okay, it's gonna snow. It was a high percentage, like 50%. Then it decreased to 30%. Then it decreased even more to 15% precipitation. So it was kind of like, oh, it's probably not gonna snow, but it's for sure gonna be really cold. We got down to the teens. Well, it snowed Monday afternoon. So this caused, I did not have to work Monday day shift. I did go into work I did go into work Tuesday evening. Thankfully, everyone was off the road. It was a mess on the roads because everything did not close like it should have. Again, City of Atlanta closed, and I'm sure some other government entities around the metro area closed. But, you had people out trying to get home in the afternoon when it was snowing. Again, because we didn't think it was going to snow here, the roads were not salted, brined, and things like that. So some people got stuck. When I was on my way to work Tuesday night, I saw cars on the side of the road. But thankfully, I was able to make it to work, no issues. I did not stay overnight because I was like, okay, I did bring my stuff. I came prepared. I brought the same stuff I had last time, air mattress, toiletries, pajamas, extra scrubs, everything the same. But I was like, well, if I could get home, if I could get to work, I should be able to get back home. So I did. Worked out great. Everything was fine. But because it was unexpected snow, both my daughter's schools were closed on Tuesday and Wednesday, which was unsuspected, which was good just for the safety of trying to get out and get your kids to school because the roads were okay, but they still had to salt and brine and it was still cold. So, it just ended up working out. It's kind of cold if you have kids that wait on the bus and things like that. It was just too cold for them because I think then it was still like in the low 20s. So just not safe. But what that does when people are at my house that are supposed to be at school or somewhere else during the day, it doesn't give me the time to mentally rest, physically rest. So I work Tuesday night. Usually when I come home on Wednesday, what I do is, take a shower, eat breakfast, and then I'll take a nap for about an hour or two. Well, my kids were here, so I wasn't able to take a nap immediately because I had to do one of my daughter's hair. I did the other one's hair Tuesday. I went ahead and knocked that out. And then I was like, okay, I might as well do the other one hair on Tuesday. That's what I ended up doing. I did it on Tuesday. I think I took her hair out and washed it. So Wednesday, when I got home, I was like, okay, I need to braid her hair because they're out of school. It works out, whatever. But, I didn't get as much rest as I usually would if everyone was at school. So just trying to catch up on my rest. And this week, I made an intentional effort to be sure to rest. I had my Monday reset day, worked out, was able to get cleaning done, folded up clothes, let my girls fold up the towels. That's their responsibility. And I told myself when I got off work, I was like, I am going to sit down today. And that's exactly what I did. I did things that made me sit down. I wash my hair. I sit up under a hydration unit. So that makes me sit down. Just resting my body and my mind, making sure that I am well rested. So I think just after all of that, unexpected people at home during the day, the week before staying at work, even though I was still comfortable. I'm the type of person anyway that can go to sleep just about anywhere, but I was still comfortable. It's like I didn't get that, you're just at home and you just have that warm, cozy feeling. You don't get that somewhere else. Even like the first night you stay at a hotel, you're kind of trying to get used to the hotel. So it was kind of like that. This week I said I am going to rest my mind, body, enjoy myself, which I did. I washed my hair, styled my hair, and just making sure it was about me today. So, moral of the story, after all my updates, my multi-week update, is make sure, because I'm sure, especially if you were in an area that doesn't get snow, you had those unexpected things too, like you're off work or you're trying to work from home and everybody's in your house and you're like, oh, okay, it's not quiet as usual, or, you're just working under different conditions. So hopefully this week you are able to rest, relax, take some time for yourself, whatever that looks like. If that's going on a walk, even if you have to bundle up, depending on what the weather is. If that is getting your favorite meal at your favorite restaurant, like eating inside, eating in the car, or just, doing takeout and eating at home, do those things. Enjoy yourself. What is it called? Re-energize yourself. That way you are ready to hit the ground running for Black History Month. So take that time out, really think about that and understand that you have to recharge. And just like the quote said, you have to learn to adapt to new circumstances. And we've all been through new circumstances. It's just the beginning of February and we have been through so much already just here in the States. So recharge and make sure you are ready to go. Please leave a comment. Let us know how you recharge, what your snow stories were. Even though they were a few weeks ago, we would still love to hear about them. What are your weeks like, especially even with MLK? It was a day out of school, but sometimes that can be a little adjustment that you have to go through. And guess what? You got President's Day coming up in a few days. So it's like, again, you're going to be out. Your kids are going to be out of school again. So how are you adjusting to that? Do you make changes? Because my kids have already asked me several times to go to the Children's Museum here. So I'm getting ready. I'm re-energizing myself. But leave a comment. Let us know what you're doing. Like the episode. Share it with another mama. Hit the bell for notifications. And don't forget, you can catch us on all social media platforms at Mommas and Mannies. That's everything. And we would love for you to listen to the episode on wherever you listen to your favorite podcast at. So listen to it in more than one place. If you like it on YouTube, listen on Spotify. If you like it somewhere else, try to pair it with something else. See if you like it differently. If you want to see me, you got to catch me on YouTube. So we would love for you to share the podcast with other mamas. Listen to some old podcasts if you're just joining us for the first time. We have over 100 episodes you can really take advantage of. And as always, remember that me time is essential and it's never selfish. Have a great week, mamas.